Val Kilmer was once considered one of Hollywood's most promising young actors, enjoying a legendary career that few actors could match. However, his family is still reeling from the emotional complexity of his legacy as they try to make sense of the surprising turns of events that led to his fame and money. Who or what is truly riding on this? The legacy that Val Kilmer has left behind is generating quite a stir among his closest associates, so let's examine it more closely. However, let's retrace our steps before delving into all of that. Go meet the man behind Batman's iconic transformation. Val Kilmer was born on December 31, 1959, into a complicated family in the hustle and bustle of Los Angeles. He had several obstacles as the middle kid in a family of three. The dissolution of Val's parents' marriage had a profound effect on his impressionable mind when he was 9 years old. He found solace in art instead of giving in to sorrow. Val always sought refuge in the arts, whether it was performing, poetry, or literature, and these activities would come to characterize his life. Right from the start, Val's innate aptitude for performing shone through. While he was a student at Chatsworth High School, he started to stand out. In addition to his acting, he gained fame for the outstanding performances he gave with Mayor Winningham and Kevin Spacey, two of his famous classmates. Sharing the stage with these contemporaries, who would go on to attain renown themselves, gave Val confidence and stoked his fire for the arts. The stage became his haven, a location where his abilities could blossom and his ambitions might start to materialize. Val quickly outgrew his high school's little performance space. Aspiration drove him to try out for New York City's illustrious Juilliard School. Success came from Val's hard work and natural talent. In the process of becoming the school's youngest ever admitted student, he secured a spot at Juilliard. This was no easy task, given the school's stellar reputation for producing world-class artists. Val dedicated himself to the demanding atmosphere at Juilliard, which helped him refine his technique. Not only did he hone his acting chops at the institution, but he was also able to pursue his love of literature. To broaden his creative horizons even further, he dove into creating plays and novels. His poetry collection, My Eden After Burns, came out in 1983. He was able to show that he could be innovative outside of the performing world with this piece. Val's early years were defined by an incessant yearning for personal development and expression. He was not satisfied to merely adhere to the prescribed course of action. His goals and interests led him to pursue his own path instead. No matter what he was doing, from writing poems to performing on stage, Val always did it with conviction and honesty. A major factor in his maturation was the bond he shared with his brothers. They had an encouraging and competitive bond that pushed him to be better all the time. His subsequent success in life was largely attributable to the work ethic and tenacity he inherited from his siblings. Val Kilmer had already started preparing for an extraordinary career by the time he was an adult. Val Kilmer was immediately on the lookout for ways to boost his profile after finishing college. The glitter of Hollywood wasn't his first port of call. Instead, he dove headfirst into the demanding world of Broadway. I learned a lot from every part one had, no matter how minor. His abilities were honed and ready for the obstacles of the entertainment industry by his early performances. An ad for Trident chewing gum was Val's modest beginning, in contrast to the glitzy starts that many performers dream of. Despite its modesty, this debut film appearance paved the way for his eventual prominence. Val's dogged determination eventually got him tiny parts in Hollywood blockbusters. He was able to gain experience and demonstrate his talent through these early appearances, even though they did not instantly propel him to stardom. A breakthrough role that would shape his career for years to come was the result of his hard effort. The role of the brash yet endearing Iceman in the 1986 smash hit Top Gun transformed Val Kilmer's life. His portrayal of the self-assured naval aviator left an indelible mark on viewers and reviewers. Val became an overnight sensation due to the film's enormous popularity. Top Gun cemented his position in Hollywood, and his character became an icon in culture. This position was a watershed moment in my career. It was a public proclamation of his entry into the international arena. In the years after Top Gun's smash hit, Val's career took off. His talent for giving characters nuance and charisma propelled him to stardom, and he became one of the most in-demand actors of his day. He tackled the challenging part of Jim Morrison in the 1991 biopic The Doors. Val played double duty as the mysterious rock star and the real Morrison, singing all of her songs. He solidified his reputation as an adaptable and dedicated actor with his effort to portraying Morrison's soul, which garnered him significant accolades. Among his contemporaries, Val stands out for his remarkable ability to assume the persona of his books. He lived out his parts, not only played them. In 1995, he exhibited this level of commitment as the lead actor in the highly regarded crime drama Heat. Val co-starred as Chris Sherrills with legendary actors Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. An ambivalent and competent criminal. The picture, which became a smash hit and a cinematic classic thanks in large part to his performance, gained an extra emotional depth. For Batman Forever the same year, Val sported the famous cape and cowl. The enormous responsibility of becoming the Dark Knight was one that Val eagerly accepted. The film was a financial success because to his convincing performance as the gloomy superhero. This part solidified Val's position as a Hollywood leading man and introduced him to a new demographic. In 1997, Val portrayed a variety of characters, including the title character in The Saint, demonstrating his flexibility. In his role as the crafty and guileful Simon Templar, Val showcased his talent for juggling action, intrigue, and wit. The financial success of the picture confirmed his position as a popular actor and demonstrated his evergreen appeal. He was highly esteemed by both studios and spectators for his performance in The Saint, which resulted in a considerable $9 million for him. One of Hollywood's highest-paid actors, Val Kilmer had risen to stardom by the late 90s. His career was marked by a combination of natural ability and a calculated approach to role selection. To guarantee critical praise and financial success, Val meticulously selected projects that blended creative merit with economic potential. From his roles in blockbusters, he earned over $40 million. In addition to his success in the entertainment industry, Val has proven to be an astute investor. As an investment and a private getaway, his expansive ranch in New Mexico is an important part of his financial portfolio. Away from the hectic pace of Hollywood, the ranch provides him with an opportunity to rejuvenate and commune with nature. He has been financially secure for the long haul because to his assets and the residual revenue he gets from his films through streaming services and TV rights. Val stands out due to his unwavering dedication to his work. He keeps devoting himself to difficult parts that test his acting abilities. Whether he's playing a superhero, a rock star, or a criminal kingpin, his versatility as an actor has kept his profession interesting and exciting. An audience is enthralled by Val's performances because of the intensity and genuineness he gives to them. Val Kilmer has had his share of ups and downs in life, though. A narrative of overcoming adversity and coming out on top is hidden beneath Hollywood's gloss and beauty. Despite his numerous accomplishments, Kilmer has encountered obstacles that have challenged him on every front. In 2015, Kilmer experienced a watershed moment in his life. When he got the devastating diagnosis that altered his life forever. He was put to the test like never before by throat cancer, which endangered both his health and his profession. The actor's voice was integral to his acting, thus this diagnosis hit him very hard. Famous for his powerful performances and memorable lines, Kilmer unexpectedly found himself fighting for the survival of both his life and his capacity to communicate. Kilmer began an intensive treatment program because he refused to allow the condition ruin his life. While the radiation and chemotherapy treatments sapped his strength, they did little to dampen his optimism. Surgery was his next step when those therapies failed. Although a tracheotomy saved his life, the operation diminished his voice and gave him a gravelly quality. This would have been the tipping moment for the average person, but not for Kilmer. Rather than running away, he adjusted. He found solace in art as a means of expressing himself and finding meaning in the face of adversity. His life revolved around painting during these years, albeit it was not new to him. Critics and fans alike flocked to galleries to see Kilmer's vibrant and introspective artwork. He was able to convey ideas that words alone could not convey through his paintings, which dealt with themes of perseverance and optimism. Kilmer delved deeply into painting and writing simultaneously. In a reference to one of his most famous lines from Tombstone, he wrote a memoir with the title I'm Your Huckleberry. Anecdotes from his youth, stories from his time in Hollywood, and honest thoughts on his fight with cancer made up the book, which became a personal window into his life. His honesty and bravery captivated people, and writing gave him the freedom to tell his journey as he saw fit. The autobiography was an immediate hit, strengthening Kilmer's capacity to relate to others despite his own hardships. During this time, technology also came to Kilmer's aid. Thanks to AI advancements, a business was able to reproduce his voice, allowing him to converse better and even pursue acting again. This revolutionary technique proved that with enough time, effort, and creativity, anything was possible. Top Gun: Maverick, Kilmer's triumphant return to the big screen in 2022, was one of the most memorable moments of his career. Kilmer, in his return as Iceman, gave a performance that brought back fond memories and moved the audience to tears. The sequences involving him mirrored his life's path rather than merely depicting a popular character. One of the year's most talked about cinematic events was his reunion with Tom Cruise, and his performance served as a reminder to spectators of the strength it takes to continue. Other than his health problems, Kilmer had to overcome other trials that tested his mettle. Even though Kilmer is known for being very forthright and meticulous, these traits occasionally backfired in Hollywood. Some found him challenging to collaborate with, yet everyone could see his dedication to his work. His career trajectory became even more intricate due to this contradiction. Notwithstanding this, Kilmer was unwavering in his honesty. Both his film roles and his artistic accomplishments are important to Val Kilmer's legacy. The love, inventiveness, and devotion he had for his family are far more significant than anything he leaves behind. These aspects make him unique, even outside of his Hollywood stardom, and they have an effect that lasts long after his career and artistic endeavors have ended. The two offspring of Kilmer, Jack and Mercedes, are the main heirs to his fortune. Even in his darkest hours, these two gifted young people have been there for him emotionally. Upon learning that Kilmer had throat cancer, they were there for him through thick and thin, providing constant encouragement. Kilmer has always had a strong familial foundation, and the closeness he has with his children is proof of that. Despite dealing with a lot of problems, Kilmer always prioritizes his family, as his daughter Mercedes put it once. This statement speaks to Kilmer's character on a fundamental level. Through thick and thin, he could always count on his family to be there for him. Both of Kilmer's children, who are now in their early 20s, have inherited his love of the arts and are doing their best to carry on his work and legacy. They will not rest until they pay homage to their father's artistic spirit. In spite of his illness, Val Kilmer has never wavered from his dedication to acting and his loved ones. His enthusiasm for art remains unabated, even though his health has limited his mobility. He finds comfort in being with his kids, and he frequently talks to them about art and his love of classic cinema. His son, Jack, has come clean about the fact that Kilmer is the actor who has had the most impact on him. But Mercedes has spoken up about how her father's wise but simple words of wisdom have helped her tremendously throughout her life and work. Kilmer's devotion to his children shines through in all that he does. Making art with them is something he loves doing more than anything else. They have collaborated on multiple projects, bringing their unique skill sets to bear in a way that honors their common heritage and inventiveness. The family has found a way to bond via their mutual appreciation of the arts through the exhibitions that feature their work. But Kilmer's generosity is another aspect of his legacy that people remember and talk about. An art charity that helps young painters was the recipient of Val Kilmer's surprise donation of his beloved New Mexico ranch. His family, especially Mercedes, struggled with this commendable decision. For Mercedes, who spent numerous summers as a child at the ranch, it was more than just acreage. A place of solace and cherished family recollections, it was the most precious place in my life. She acknowledged that she felt a pang of grief when she realized the ranch wasn't hers anymore, but she understood her father's desire to support the arts. Kilmer's generosity in donating the ranch demonstrates his strong belief in the importance of the arts in society, and his hope to have a positive impact on the world through his legacy. Things of a material nature were not at issue. The focus was on encouraging originality and providing resources to budding artists. He imagined the ranch as a place where people could come together to build a better world, where they could find the motivation and support to follow their artistic passions. Kilmer's selflessness reveals a lot about his personality, because it exemplifies his dedication to community service and his faith in the transformational potential of art. A unique bequest has come to Kilmer's son, Jack. Managing the copyrights to his father's extensive corpus of work has been assigned to Jack instead of inheriting the ranch. Top Gun, Batman Forever, and The Doors are just a few of Kilmer's films that are both beloved classics and lucrative business ventures. Copyright management presents Jack with a formidable challenge as well as an important obligation. Jack feels obligated to carry on his famous father's work since he is the son of a legendary Hollywood actor. The most influential person in his life has been his father's career, although he admits that taking up this position is scary. This goes beyond the immediate family. I am burdened with the responsibility to do it justice. Jack has a tough job ahead of him in overseeing his father's legacy. He is under tremendous pressure to deliver, along with the responsibility of making sure Kilmer's films continue to be commercially and culturally successful for many more years. The weight of expectation on Jack to continue Kilmer's work is a constant reminder of the enormous influence his father had in Hollywood. The fact that Kilmer decided to give a large amount of his money to cancer research is probably the most important thing about his legacy. Having fought throat cancer himself, he saw firsthand the hardships that others with similar illnesses face. To individuals in need, Kilmer offers his philanthropic donations in the hopes that they may bring hope, resources, and assistance. There have been some complexities with this decision, though. Because they had hoped for a more equitable division of Kilmer's wealth, some of his relatives have voiced their dismay and uncertainty. Although this decision has caused some friction, it should be remembered that Kilmer's charitable work stems from his profound empathy for those in need. His fortune was more than just a means to an end for Kilmer and his family. Instead, he wanted to share it with people who were struggling with the same illness he had worked so hard to beat. The principles their father inculcated in their lives are now upheld by his children, Jack and Mercedes, who carry on his legacy. They are artistically gifted and dedicated, just like their father. Following in their father's footsteps, Mercedes and Jack intend to continue the work he started. Kilmer means more to them than simply being a father. To them, he represents fervor, doggedness, and unfaltering power. In doing so, they have assumed the duty of protecting his creative works for the benefit of generations to come. With a strong sense of purpose, Kilmer faces the difficulties of aging and disease head-on. His life revolves around his creativity, and he keeps working on important initiatives that showcase his love for art and his desire to serve people. Val Kilmer has dedicated his life to making a difference, whether through his artistic endeavors, community service, or charity contributions. His narrative will serve as an inspiration to others who hear it, and his legacy will endure.